Oh, here we go. Welcome back to yours truly, Carcino here at the one and only One Crack News Station, where you get the best news ever. Now, let's look into this. We're going to actually break this down because it's quite foolish, but I think you'll enjoy. Now, when I was looking at this, I came to the realization. I said, there's no way, shape, or form that we could have such disdain for one another as a people that we will get to a point where we're stuck. That's right, stuck. But that's where we've arrived to, the stuck moment. We're stuck focusing on gender and color. Yep, that's right. Gender and color. We're stuck there. Can't get out of it for some reason. We're just stuck. We don't move forward. We just stay right in the same circumference and stay stuck. Why, I have no idea. But we seem to like to be stuck. I don't like it, but they do. Now, while people languish in the stuck zone, they make and highlight the exodus of black women from senior leadership across the Hollywood globe. The last few weeks has been raising concerns and questions about the depth of the film and television industry, as all these diversifying top ranked jobs in entertainment, all these people are having these departures. This has sparked this outrage on social media. Mounting concerns of major studios are only performing lip service after pledging to elevate more people of color to positions of influence. They never promised that. And your performance dictate should you be in the position they gave you, not by entitlement. I don't hear this outcry when it's black men. I don't hear this outcry. It's just, oh, well, so and so was fired. There's no cry on social media. There's no outrage, no despair. Now, in the last 6 months, there have been over 6 black women in leadership roles that abruptly left their positions in the studio. Many oversaw this thing before with their diversity, inclusion, their departments, putting them on the lines of larger efforts to change corporate culture or whatever, hiring practices. They had Karen Horn, who led DEI efforts at Warner Brothers and Discovery. Janelle English, who was the executive vice president of impact and inclusion at the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Science. Netflix, Verna Myers. They was the first head of inclusion at Disney, but they replaced her with a gay black man. So I don't understand what's the problem. They still got what they wanted, right? Latondra Newton at Disney. She was the chief diversity officer and senior vice president, and another Warner Brother executive, Tara Potts, who's the vice president of worldwide marketing. And then Joanna, what's her name? Bailey. She was the BBC's creative diversity director who joined their ranks. So my thing is, you got to hire people to be diverse. That's their title. A lot of these people's titles is diversity, impact, and inclusion. So you're hiring people just to put people of color in films. You need to hire somebody to help you be diverse. Says a lot about your company. We gotta have a diversity department. It teaches us that we don't know how to be diverse, so we gotta hire somebody in that department to be diverse. That tells me you got a really big problem. So what's happening is that you're putting multiple people in there because there's a lack of financial support and resources and roadblocks that prevent these executives from having that impact that they want to create. They're having this department to say, hey, we racist, but we don't want to look it. So the overwhelming culture that is completely exhausted with all of these non-results seem to plague what these people are called black leadership. And it is a pendulum swinging as they experience the Barack Obama led election, the Trump election, and there's no evidence that these companies are setting out to oust black women executives like they are. It's a conspiracy to do so. It's just that when they start circling the wagons, they're going to protect their own first. And whoever has to go to make the cuts, well, you know who that's going to be. The department that they don't feel they really needed in the first place. So when Netflix did their first round of layoffs, right, and decreases, the company significantly reduced staff support for one of the streamers' initiatives, the targeted underrepresentation of communities, right? The Latino and strong black-led communities. They were the first to go whenever they made cuts. Warner Brothers, same thing. As a restructuring and recent layoffs, blown money, Warner Brothers, their head is moving to transform its system by having people in different regions focus on employment initiatives. Now, they started making cuts when their so-called all Caucasian movies don't perform well. They got to take money from the so-called social media diverse projects. They're to blame. You see what happened with this inclusion? The environment has been very different worldwide. People came in to try to diversify and put people in shoehorn projects with African American cast with less money, less support, less everything, because that's how they view you. And now that the affirmative action in college admissions have been struck down by the U.S. Supreme Court, there are parallel concerns that companies may be bordering this same abandoned hire initiative aimed at recruiting employees from, unrepresented communities. Right? Well, they keep talking about there's so many few black women in leadership positions. There's so few black men in leadership positions. That's what you need to talk about as well. Um, and the reason why is because we keep trying to be leaders in already established racist communities and racist corporations instead of trying to forge our own and make that a force to make yourself so economically viable that they need to come to you. See, Hollywood seemed to be taking a step back from that investment. There are already so few women or men in the position of leadership. So when you lose one, it's so pronounced, but only for black women. Why is that? That can't be by accident, right? You see, the 2022 Women Report tells you what? There's a women report? Yeah, it's a women in the workplace report. And you look at the data, they start talking about breaking down Hollywood, breaking down over 12 million people in collective services, response to over 40,000 workers. The report reveals that only 1 in 4 of the leaders are women, with only 20 to 5% are women in color. They call that the great breakup. See, they seem to focus all of these reports on women. Breaking down black women are not allowed to be difficult, vulnerable, weak, or challenging. They must be perfect and have unlimited understanding of the continuous validation of a white person's guilt and empty gestures of how they're feeling about fixing things. It's exhausting, and people are effing tired of it. And that was from a former studio executive who didn't want to say anything. See, the entertainment world hasn't changed. It's been the same. It's always been the same. Is it racist? Just like every other job and corporation you've seen that is not controlled by people that look or resemble you. 99.9% of them are racist. So you're going into a racist environment hoping to be treated fairly. You're not. You're going to work at a corporation that's going to hire somebody of color above you because they don't want you, a person of color, to have that position. You're going to have a created position, diversity, inclusion department, something that doesn't even exist. They just need to have that there to say, hey, we're not racist. Why? Because we don't depend on building something on our own. And as long as you continue that road and that path, you will be at the mercy of all these racist men. And when they pass away, another racist person will take over, and another racist person will take over, and they keep having racist leadership, and you'll be waiting for that diversity person to come in. It's 2023, and you're still asking for fairness. Instead of saying, F your fairness, building my own. Let's get together and build our own. We have streaming now. We don't need them. We don't need Netflix. We'll get our own streaming service, get our own streaming app. We'll make our own projects. They'll be cheap at first. But the more we start to include ourselves in these projects and more brothers start to come in and invest in your project, you start to build, you get momentum. Then the majors will start coming. Hey, see, you guys got some programming over there. Yeah, we're gonna offer you a partnership distribution. You say, nah, stick that up, yo. You know what? We good. No matter what they dangle in front of you, say we good. Because what you're building has innate value. People gonna want to start coming over there. Say you can do a distribution deal, but ownership you will never have. So we need to get back to that reality. Because the other reality isn't working. It's your boy Carcino. One Crack News. We out.